Shōgun episode 1 and 2 now out. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the first two episodes of the new show known as Shōgun is now out for you guys to go and check out. It's on Hulu and FX here in the States. So I don't know what it's on anywhere else in the world, but the first two episodes have dropped. And this is a show I've been really excited for since I saw the trailers for this show. I was hyped. It was in my top 10 most anticipated show of the year. I can tell you guys right now, after the first two episodes, I am hyped for this show. I am so intrigued. I am so invested. I want the third episode. I just wanted to sit there and binge the whole thing. I really did. I thought the first two episodes did exactly what you needed from a first episode. And then the second one builds upon that. And the way that it ends, that episode 2 ends, just leaves you on that cliffhanger of like, damn, what is about to happen next? I'm all here for it. This is just incredible. The first two episodes are absolutely incredible. The easiest way I can sell this to people that haven't showed it and we're on the fence, if you guys like Game of Thrones, and if you guys like Vikings, that's what this show is. So imagine Vikings and Game of Thrones put together, but with Japanese lore and heritage, with samurais. You can't go wrong. And that's what it feels like. Because the first two episodes is about people moving the chess pieces into place for, basically getting a hold of what they want. What is their most desired thing that they want to have? How can they get into a position of power to overthrow someone else to take control of everything? And then you have the idea, like in the Vikings, where they come and invade England and stuff like that. You have that with the Portuguese, with the Spanish, with the English coming in as well to invade. So you have this dynamic of the chess pieces trying to be maneuvered around within the Japanese community. But then you've got the other cultural clashes coming in with the Portuguese, with the Spanish, with the English. And they're trying to put their pieces into the world as well as you're going on. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. And I'm sitting there and I'm just in awe of what this is all about. Because it's so interesting. The characters. So we get introduced to multiple characters in the first two episodes. There's one character who you get introduced to who is an Englishman. And he's very interesting. I'm very interested to see where he's going to go and how he's going to be utilized in here. Because you meet him and he's this character who is there for a reason. But then obviously when they get caught captive, his motivation sort of changes in a way, but then it doesn't at the same time. It's weird. It's weird. You have to watch it to see what I mean. But he's become a very interesting character. And I want to know what his relationship is going to be moving forward now with the Japanese community. Because of, obviously we have, back in the Vikings days where you had the clash with the Christians and the Norse gods. You just had the clash of that. Which one do you believe? That is a very similar thing that is going on here. You have the traditional Japanese culture there. And then you have the Christianity culture, which is the Catholics from the Portuguese invading and trying to mix with that and throw out the old culture to try and take over that Japanese culture that is there. So it makes for this really interesting dynamic when you throw in the Christian of the Englishman who is not Catholic, but is a different type of Christian, and you throw in that. So you have three competing cultures going for it, faiths going at it, and it makes for an intriguing story with each character. There's another character that you get introduced as well, who is very much, I don't know what his true intentions are. I don't know. He's one that we get introduced. He's in the village, and the way that he kills one of these guys is brutal. Like, this show is brutal. It shows you back in the 16th, because it's supposed to be in the 1600s, it shows you just the brutality that it was back then. You have a man who, let's just say, is water, fire, pot. And it's brutal. And then there was one scene as well where someone gets decapitated. I was not prepared for that. I was not. It came out of nowhere. But it makes total sense because these are the type of people that don't care. Like, what I mean by that is you step out of place and bam, that's it. There's no conversation of like, oh, I'm sorry, and like forgiveness. It's just a bam, decapitation right there. It caught me by surprise. but it was freaking awesome. Then you also have this, there's another tragic thing that happens that shows you just how cruel it was back in those days, involving a baby and something that happens to the father that causes something to happen to the kid. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Screw living in the 1600s. Let's just be real. Thank the gods that we live in today's society where we don't have to deal with that stuff, because man, it's insane. It really is. But you can see the story start to unfold. You can see the motivations of each character. You can see who are the smart ones that are like 2 steps ahead of everyone, that are putting the chess pieces here and there, but they've already worked out the next moves 3 steps ahead of the next person. So that's really interesting. We have the council as well, and they're pretty much, they believe they're united, but they're also not united. Some people have their own motives going on, and then someone else has their own motives. And when things get brought to their attention, they now must shift. It's phenomenal. The costume design. I love the costume design. I feel like I'm in that sort of culture, in the Japanese culture there. It feels very rich. The lore is there. They're expanding the world building as well, which is what I love. The actual cinematography itself, this is a gorgeous looking show. It is fantastic to look at. Just some of the shots that they have of the coastal areas look great. The villages look great. The castle, oh my word, the castle looks fantastic. I really like it. And what I also appreciate is, so when the Englishman is talking, when they talk in English or Portuguese, it's all in English tongue. So you understand, we can hear it and that. But when we're talking in Japanese, it's in actual Japanese. And I appreciate that little touch. I know some people, you know, don't like to watch stuff with subtitles, but I feel like having it have those people in Japanese speak actual fluent Japanese just adds a bit more realism to it. Because if they're speaking English, then it's kind of like, it takes away from it a bit, if you guys know what I mean, where we have them speaking in Portuguese. Obviously, it's not going to be in Portuguese, but having them speak Portuguese and it translate to English for us so that we understand what they're talking about, but then the natives are talking in Japanese, it just, I feel like it adds that extra depth to the story, to what you're watching. It just gives it that elevation to the next level, in my opinion anyway. But then again, I'm a person who loves anime and I love watching it in Japanese, in its native tongue. So I'm kind of used to it and I like it. And I don't know, the Japanese just sounds so cool when they talk. Just everything in Japanese sounds better. I don't know why, it just does. English is such a boring language. When you hear the Japanese speak, I don't know about what it is about it, but something about it is just like, just so good. But look, man, first 2 episodes, whew, let me just say, this is just incredible. I'm really enjoying this. I cannot wait. Like, there's not action, there's no action or anything like that in here. There's one bit of action sequence involving bandits and that, but it's pretty quick and over pretty quick. But the first 2 episodes are all the setup, all the build up to what is going on, getting the things moved into the right place before any conflict happens. Fantastic. Loved it. So let me know if you guys have seen the first 2 episodes. What did you guys think? Smash down in the comment section below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.